Hey all, today I want to talk with you about risk identification in SAFe framework, about also SAFe Roam board, because it's a framework for making risk visible. It gives you and your team a shared space to notice and highlight risks and to determine which risk to resolve, own, accept or mitigate. So you can use Meyer board and impact of risks and decide which risks are low priority versus high priority. The underlying principles of SAFe scaled agile framework are drive cost-effective solutions, apply system thinking, assume that things will change, protect options, also build incrementally with fast integrated learning cycles, base milestones on evaluating working systems, and visualize and limit works in progress. Reduce batch sizes, manage queue lengths, and so on. So what is a SAFe Roam board? A SAFe Roam board allows you to and your team to highlight risks so that you can take actions. After someone identifies and records a risk, you have to decide what to do next. For each risk you come across, you can for sure avoid it and take a different approach, reduce likelihood that it will happen, share the risk by bringing it in vendor expertise, and accept the risk. But keep in mind, this doesn't mean you ignore it. Mitigate the risk and take action to reduce its impact. And this framework aims to help you resolve, own, accept or mitigate risks. So what you can do with resolved risks, your team agrees that this risk is no longer an issue and everyone can move on. About own risk, if a risk isn't immediately solved, a team member may take ownership to the risk, to the task to resolve later, follow up to plan mitigation or work on executing any further action that should be taken. What can we do with accepted risks? Some risks can be reasonably dealt with. So teams should fully understand why before accepting these risks. We can do with mitigated risk. Mitigated plan can reduce the likelihood of or impact of these risks. It's important to keep your own board updated so your team is aligned across each level of risk and aware of how risks are being handled. If your team uses Java, import Java cards directly onto your SAFe Roam board. So you can create your own SAFe Roam board. It's easy with Myra's template for sure. You can get started by selecting the SAFe Roam board templates, then take the following steps to make one or of your own. During PI planning, add risks to the program risk section. Remember that the number of sticky notes with identified risks may grow or shrink as your team decides on a mitigation strategy during the planning process. After the final plan review, move all risks to the Roam board, allocate each risk to the relevant category of Roam, resolved, owned, accepted and mitigated. Vote as a team to decide which risks are worth prioritizing. Agile coaches can run voting sessions to decide which risks should be considered high priority. A minimum of 3 votes is needed to consider a risk in the running as a high priority. The main things that we need to review and adjust risks as needed for sure, but risk profiles can change as plans and follow-up steps to action. Make sure a member of your team adjusts and updates the board during the weekly or bi-weekly PO product owner sync. When to use SAFe Roam boards. Roam boards are used during PI planning to identify any obstacles to achieving team goals. Risk and uncertainty are bound to impact any project in some way. Instead of relying on a classic risk management plan or risk log, an agile approach, such as creating more user stories to add to a backlog, can lower the chances of unpredictability and surprise. The Roam method can help also relieve the agile release strain The teams and stakeholders needed to implement, test, deploy, and release software incrementally, of any ambiguity. And to summarize, a ROM board is a framework for highlighting the likelihood and impact of risks in order to decide which risks are low priority versus high priority. This framework aims to help you resolve, own, accept, or mitigate risks and increases the visibility of risk management to everyone on the team, which ensures that potential risks are not overlooked or ignored. What does SAFE stand for in Agile? SAFE stands for Scaled Agile Framework and defines a set of roles, responsibilities, and guiding principles for everyone involved in a SAFE project or working at an enterprise level that follows Agile practices. If you will ask when is the ROM techniques used to categorize program risks, this framework is used when teams need to identify and manage risks, and as an Agile technique, is often followed by those involved in SAFE project management. Using, for example, ROM board help keep everyone aligned across each level of risk and maintain awareness for how all identified risks are being handled. I hope my video was useful, so subscribe my channel, leave comment below what topic you want me to present, and stay on Agile side. Thank you.